this thing. So.
What's up, Sonny?
Recording. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to day number 3 of the Money School Essentials pre-party, pre-show, whatever you're calling this. We're just going to call it a pre-party because that's what it is. It's a big party, a big training session that we are leading up to this weekend's big event. You know, it's like any other sports thing. You know, you got all the commercials, all the lead ups to the big show, the Olympics, the boxing match, the UFC, whatever it is. There's always a lead up. Well, this has been the lead up for this weekend's 3-day Money School Essentials, and this might be one of the best 3-day essentials that we've ever had. Kim, yes, we just put the links in there for day 2 and day 1. But what we've got today is a little different format than what we initially thought we were going to do last week because of the turn of events. There's a lot of crap going on in the world, folks. A lot of, what else do you call it besides crap? We got COVID, we've got presidential crazy thingamajigers going on. We got inauguration tomorrow. We got a fortress around the Capitol building, which, you know, that's worthy of talking about. We've got a lot of conspiracy theories out there. We've got a lot of scared people and a lot of people wondering what the hell is going on with Wall Street. And I'm one of them. Like, what is going on with Wall Street? I mean, I watched a YouTube video from a very well-known trader who never puts YouTube videos up, but he did, talking about the markets and everything and like the correlations between what's going on in the economy and Wall Street. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, but we're going to talk about not, you know, the doom and gloom of what potentially is going on or what could happen. We're going to talk about how to make an awful lot of money in this crazy times, because you know what? And I don't know the saying, Stephen, correct me, you know, if you know what it is, but, you know, in crazy times or in chaos, there's always opportunity. And that is absolutely what's going on. And I'll tell you where one of the opportunities I see, and it comes back to something I said on my live this morning in the cartoon. You guys all remember the coyote, right? The Roadrunner and the coyote. You remember those cartoons? Beep, beep. You remember that one, right, Stephen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the coyote, whatever, you know, how come the coyote never catches the Roadrunner? You know, why can't that stupid coyote eat the Roadrunner? Like, I know some of us are thinking, you know, there's going to be that cartoon episode where the coyote actually eats the Roadrunner, but it's never happened. And that's kind of like Wall Street in my eyes, because the Roadrunner is Wall Street. The Roadrunner is the institutional investors, the market makers, the people out in front that are doing what they're doing. And then, you know, the coyote, you know what that is? It's all of us. It's all the people who don't know what they're doing, that think they know what they don't know, because the coyote always thinks he's going to catch the Roadrunner. There's never an episode, there's never one of those where the coyote isn't 100% confident he's going to get that damn thing. I mean, he's dropping boulders on it, but the boulder always hits the coyote. He's almost got it because he's got a jetpack on, and then all of a sudden he's, you know, the jetpack's dead and the dust settles. And where is he? All the time. Every time when the dust settles from the Roadrunner's, you know, leaving his dust, when it settles, where is the coyote? Steven, where's the coyote every single time?
Good, man. It's out of there.
Yeah, no. Where is the coyote every time the dust settles? He's always off the edge of a cliff, isn't he?
Right. Yeah.
It's always that point where he's looking into the camera. He's got his like fork and his spoon or his knife, and he's all of a sudden, then you just see the lower part of his body disappear and he's falling, and you just see the poof. Right. Well, that's everybody, right? The Roadrunner, you can't catch it. And every single person is chasing the Roadrunner right now. You're doing everything. They're on Robinhood. They're day trading. They're all experts, right? They all got the master plan. They got the jetpack. So the problem is, most all of them are going to end up, when the dust settles, off the edge of the cliff, and they're all going to go straight down. And I don't mean to make that an analogy, but honestly, folks, I don't know how else to put it. Like, too many people are being led off the edge of the cliff, and they're all on a smoke screen or a dust screen, whatever you want to call it. And we need to get out of that dust screen. And we got a special treat today. So the master of disaster, Sodi, the one who basically is running the 10-10 trading strategy and one of the speakers at the 3-day event, is going to join us today to talk a little bit about this, because I'm sure we can talk real estate today, which we will. We can talk money today, but there's nothing more, I think, prevalent and on people's minds is what is going to happen in 2021. And we don't have the answer, but we certainly can tell you, if this happens, this is what you do. There's never going to be a time that we can't tell you what to do and how to trade it to make money. So I think we drive right into this. Is everybody thinking that? Can everybody comment? We've got 85 people. Like, is that on your minds? Are you guys all wondering like what to do with your money? Are you wondering what to do with stocks and like, should you stay in the market? Should you get out? Should you keep your 401k in? Should you get out? Should you keep putting money into the mutual funds? Good. I figured, and I bet you as you guys keep going in, we probably won't see any no's because this is on everybody's mind. And it's evident because on every single chat, on every Facebook group I'm on, this is all people are talking about. So obviously we kind of hit the nail on the head. And, you know, Sodi's timing is impeccable. Sodi just left his I guess, investment banks, Wall Street bank, whatever you want to call, you know, his Wall Street job. He just left that and he is now with us full time. So welcome to the team officially, Sodi. I know we speak a lot, but welcome to the team. And what I was thinking we could do today is really just tell everybody kind of what is going on. What do we see for 2021? And like, what is some advice, some simple advice? And then after that, what are we going to be showing them? Because we've got something really special planned for the 3-day, not only in the bonus session that we're going to do Friday, which just so everybody knows, I already said this. If you join us for the 3-day, you're going to get 3 straight days from me and all the experts that we've got as panelist speakers, but you're also going to get a bonus round from Sodi, myself, and Steven on Friday. However, the bonus round is after the normal training and the bonus round is not recorded. So if you're not there, oh, well, you know, sorry about your luck, but you got to be there. So Sodi, let me just turn it over to you. Like, what could you say about these times? What's going on? We had a conversation last night and you made a lot of sense to me. Sometimes I kind of am that coyote chasing that road runner. And sometimes I need somebody to stop me and say, you know what, that's never going to work. You're never going to catch the coyote that way. This is how we're going to get the coyote. And, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, but if I just do what I was doing, I'm going to eventually get him. And Sodi's like, you're not going to catch the coyote, man. You're not. The coyote or you're not going to catch the road runner. The road runner is always going to beat you doing what you're doing. So let's talk about this stupid road runner and how we get him.
Sure. Cool. So yeah, I know we had our conversation yesterday and we kind of went over the whole video, everything we talked about. Yeah, this is a very prevalent opinion with everybody that, you know, what's going on with the markets is not natural, is not normal, is, so to speak, nothing ever seen before. And I think that's why there are so many question marks as to, because there are people who have lived through the '08 crash, the 2000 crash, you know, and other smaller volatility events in the 2000s. And all of them have lived through it and they're all waiting for this to reset. They're all waiting for this to go back to where they think it should. And, you know, it hasn't happened yet. And we don't know when it will. But in that anticipation, 2 things happen to people. People either sit on the sidelines and watch others make money and have fear of missing out, and then they jump in, or people just keep waiting for an impending doom that may never come. So it's one of 2 things happen. And either way, like, everybody is right. You know, everybody, when the dust settles, everybody's like, I told you this, so I told you this was going to happen. But the question is, who was calling it before it happened? You know, those are the people who you want to see, like, what's going on. Most people will be like, yeah, so, hey, we call a crash. Well, did you? I mean, after it, everybody saw, yeah, everybody could have connected the dots, but before it happened, who was there? So what Chris and I talked about yesterday, and kind of the same thing, that, you know, these are not normal markets. These are not normal market times. These are not normal market events. Things don't make sense. You know, chart patterns, volume, whatever traders want to look at. There's anomalies everywhere where people try to connect the dots and make sense of it. But in very simple terms, and this is what we believe here at Money School as well, and Chris and I talk about this, we're like, when the worst comes, we don't know when. We position ourselves in a way to profit from it, to be ready for it. We don't know when. And we did this in the last 3-day webinar where I showed the hedging trade, where that trade went from, you know, $700 to 30 grand. It wasn't planned. It wasn't that we were expecting it to go up. It's just we follow our procedures of hedging ourselves, protecting the downside, but we never stay out of the markets because we know that there's always a bull market somewhere. Just like today. Today was a great day. Yes, the market dipped quite a bit and then rallied back up. There's a bull market. There's stuff to buy. There's money to be made every single day, everywhere. It's just when you sit out for too long and you see others make money, that's when that feeling of missing out comes in. And then, analysis paralysis, you can't decide what to do. And then you sit outside, wait for an impending doom that never comes. And right when you get in, everything just hits the fan, everything goes down, and you're like, man, I should have stayed out. But it doesn't matter, because at Money School with 1010, we don't care what's going to happen, what's coming in the sense, because we protect ourselves from the get-go. All of our portfolios are hedged, yet every single day we go out in the market and we make money. Why? Because we know there's a bull market somewhere. We know there's opportunity somewhere every single day to be profited from, to be made money with. So why not capitalize on those markets? But when something bad, drastic happens, we will be positioned, and we are positioned in a way, not only to protect ourselves, but if things really go south, we will profit like we did last year.
I think one of the fun things to talk about is, we mentioned this last night, are all the the experts right now. Everybody's an expert. Everybody, like I can't hear it again. And if I'm probably not going to handle it well. Everybody's an expert stock picker today.
Right.
Everybody gets it right. Oh, I bought NVIDIA, I'm making a ton of money. I bought Apple, or, everything. Tesla, I hear it every day. Everybody's a professional stock picker today. And it's just like, there was a study I remember this being I thought it was just like a fake thing when I was an advisor, but they talked about a study they did where they took the best stock guys in the world and they had them pick portfolios, and then they took monkeys and they put all the stocks, the same, portfolio of stocks that these guys were picking from, and they had the monkeys throw darts at the wall, and the monkeys beat the stock pickers. And that's kind of how I look at today. Is we got a lot of monkeys out there, just throwing darts, and whatever they hit's going up. And if we were able to show the charts from that video that you and I watched yesterday, I mean, how can you not make money when everything goes straight up? Literally, like, I don't care what stock you look at. I don't care what index you look at. It's literally a straight ride up. I mean, to the point where it's almost unbelievable or unrealistic to even look at it and say, is that real? Because these are unprecedented times. But I mean, also, I don't know another time in history, maybe 2008, but that was only, I don't know, Steven, do you remember how much they printed in 2008? Was it 900 million? Remember how unprecedented that was? You're muted.
I don't remember the amount, but it was nothing compared to now.
Yeah, now I don't even know where we're at. Does anyone even know how much they've printed now? Is it 2, 3, 4, 5 trillion? And they're going to print more. Like, there was something I saw, and I don't know who told me this, was maybe one of you, that there was, like, out of all the money in the system, in the economy right now, 66 cents of every dollar is stimulus money right now. I don't know how true that is, but if you print 3 trillion, I mean, maybe that's right. Right there. CJ just said it was only 700 billion. And I remember 2008 like it was yesterday, because it was one of the worst periods of time in my life. And I remember when they printed 700 billion, and I know you got to adjust that for inflation, but I'm sorry, it's not that big of a discrepancy. 700 billion was like such a crazy amount of money to print. And I remember back then they were saying our grandkids are going to be paying for this in their taxes, because there's no way it could ever be paid. And I think another thing in that video, Sodi, that was alarming is, now that they're printing all this money, and the creature from Jekyll Island, that book, they were talking about it, and that was like 2009, with all the debt the government had, it was like 90 cents of every dollar the government brings in was going to paying interest and social programs. And I bet you any money right now, the government's running a deficit of about 120%, meaning of every dollar they bring in, 120% is going out the door. Is that sustainable? No, but can they keep printing their way out of this? Yes. And they are going to, but someday we're going to pay the piper. Someday we're definitely not going to, it's not going to be rosy. And I think that someday is what Sodi's talking about, not waiting. Don't wait for someday, trade every day, but trade the market where the opportunity is. And the problem is the average person doesn't have the ability to know how to do this. So what they're taught to do, and what we're all taught to do, and you hear me say this a lot, is give up control of your money. Give somebody else control of your money because they know better than you do. Give the advisor, like, Mr. Naugle, when I was an advisor, give him your money because he knows best. Well, I will tell you from being on the inside, even though maybe we did know more than our clients, and we certainly did, but the one thing we didn't was, and there's no way it's possible, we didn't care more about the client's money than the client cared about their money. So if you guys want to hedge your bets, you guys want to really get ahead in this world, take back control of your money, which requires you to get the knowledge you need and the things that will change your life. And if you give up control to somebody else, well, I hope they care more about your money than you do. And the fact of the matter is they don't. So this is your best shot. Learn the things you need to learn, even if it's just one or two things. I know there's so much information out there that it's hard to know what information to do. Pick two of them. Okay. Pick two things and go really deep into them. So can you talk just about today? Because I mean, I'm looking at the positions we did today, and today was a pretty volatile day. It was down, it was up, it was down, it was up. I mean, it's all over the place. And how did we do what we did today? Because that's a really good return for one day.
Yeah. So again, and Chris knows this, I don't really like to talk about, how much we did, how we performed in a day and stuff like that. But because, it's not a sort of a bragging thing or anything for us. It's just a good day. But market up, down, sideways, doesn't matter. We had a $1,200 day today. And, some of these, we took new positions. Some were old positions that we closed. Some of these are just portfolio strategies where we're not even trading daily. We just once a week update the portfolios. For any of you guys who are part of our 10-10 trading ideas, you guys have access to our microcaps portfolio, which is a little bit more volatile, but it is, it has higher returns and has higher volatility. Year to date, it's been 20 days, we're up 10% on that portfolio. Now, we just traded once a week. So like I said, there's so much opportunity in the market. Yes, everybody's an expert, but if you play the long game starting now, not only are you going to make a lot of money in the next couple of years, but when the dust settles, when things level out, when the lines revert back to the mean and everybody comes back to, reality, you're still going to be consistently profitable because you're going to be working with people who've been through these times, who it's not about picking Tesla as a stock and then writing it out and saying, oh, we made a lot of money. No, it's about finding real opportunity in the market where it exists and knowing, hey, if tomorrow things go bad, we're fine. We're not worried. That's why people ask us, like, are you guys still trading? Are you guys still investing? I'm like, yeah, why would I? Why won't I? This is one of the best runs in the market history. Everybody can make money. So why not make money? But you're not all out. You're always protecting the downside. We're always protected on our downside. On every single position we have our levels. There's not a single position in our portfolio where we can't be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing with this. Like positions that become profitable, our stop loss becomes break even. So we never lose on those positions. We have stop losses in place. So literally just like a regular Tuesday, and it's a smaller week, but for a regular Tuesday, we did $1,200 today, which I think was a good day. It was sort of a whipsaw day. So I think it was a good return for the day. And
it's not a large portfolio. That's the other thing. People might be like, oh, 1,200, how big's your portfolio? It's not big at all.
Actually, the portfolio size is small, and what the return is on capital invested. So I never invest full amount. So if our portfolio is like, let's say X amount, we basically trade with only 40 to 50% of it. So that means like 50% is still in cash, and of that 50%, it again gets broken down. So basically the return is a lot higher, but it's just, we have different kinds of strategies. Like since year to date, our biggest loser was a $250 loss. That was our biggest loser.
No. Let's be honest, and you can throw me under the bus. What was our biggest loser, really?
That was last year.
Oh, we took the loss this year, so right. We got to count that.
We had a January put, that was like bought a couple months ago, right. And that was a $2,900 loss.
I was chasing the Roadrunner. And I got in the smoke screen, and I ended up off the cliff on that. And right. It's like, and I had this conversation with you. Sometimes I get so like scared about what's going on that I'm constantly thinking it's doomsday coming. So I'm like all in on that. When SOTA's just like, every day can be doomsday, but you can there's opportunity in doomsday. There's opportunity everywhere. Just find the way to do that. But listen, like I might be the guy here, teaching everybody, but I make mistakes and I need somebody to help course correct me, just like everybody does. But the biggest thing that I think a lot of people think when they think about stocks and options is, oh my God, that's complicated. Holy crap, that would be hard. Oh my God, that would take a lot of time. Can we just talk a little bit about like, how much time would someone need to put in? Like how much knowledge would they need? Like, do they have to be an expert? Like what's involved to learn, what you do on a day in and day out basis? Because I can tell everybody what I'm looking at and what you do every day is actually extremely simple and boring. It's boring as hell, man. It's the same damn thing over and over and over again. But people don't think that because they've been taught to believe that it's the most complicated thing out there.
Right. And again, going back to, our mentorship program, it got such a good feedback that we actually had to close the mentorship for the time being because we reached the full amount of seats that we wanted to open. So we're just focusing on the students we have right now, and they kind of learn the ins and outs of everything that we, all the strategies that I use, and we teach them how to trade those. And some of those strategies, like I've covered in one of the other weekly, Wednesday webinar series, and you can check it out on YouTube, the weekly put strategy. Like, it's an income strategy. It's a very simple play. You're not risking too much. You're risking less than 10%, actually less than 5% in a position, making 10% return. It's a very easy, consistent strategy to do. And it is a very, very popular strategy to basically, grow small accounts to bigger accounts. Any option trader will tell you, if you have a small account and you want to start, this is the place to go. Don't just buy naked calls, naked puts, just collect some income, grow your account, and be consistent with it. Now, when it comes to our trading ideas, this is where we get a little bit in depth, where a little bit more advanced analysis goes into, where people who don't want to go through the mentorship, or who feel like, hey, I want to take my time with mentorship, but right now I want to make the most of the markets. I don't know what to buy. I know Tesla, I know Bitcoin, but I know nothing else. And, I really want to get more exposure. This is for those people, because we do basically, and I'll give a little bit explanation about what the ideas involve. We have 4 different strategies, I guess, in that. We have 2 long-term strategies, which are our portfolios. These are our ETF portfolios. This is basically our long-term portfolio strategy. We rebalance it once a month. We've back tested it for over 10, 15 years. And, we've consistently ran that through last year. Last year was about a 35%, 40% return with the downturn. It's just about being consistent with it. So, year to date right now, it's up 3%, I believe. So that's a long-term out. So somebody who really wants to just do it long-term and consistent with it. Now, the other long-term strategies are microcaps that I was talking about earlier. Again, somebody who's like, hey, I don't want to trade options now. I still want to just trade some stocks a little bit more active, but it's a long-term play. We don't judge it on a week. We don't judge it on a month. We give it a few months. We give it a year. And again, we've backtested all of these, and we've traded them for a couple of years to know how these strategies are ran, how they did, and we've traded them live. So we know this is a long-term play. However, for people who want to be a little bit more active traders, and I can see some questions about day trading. They're not day trades. We're not day trading. I'm not sharing ideas of day trading, because when it comes to day trading, time is crucial. So if I were to take a trade and then share with somebody, and something were to alter in that position, the information flow would be very delayed. So I day trade? Yeah, but I don't encourage it. For people who are part of the trading ideas, our time horizon in the short term is anywhere from a few days to 3 weeks out. That is what our holding periods look like. Does sometimes a position work out in the same day? Yes. Does it sometimes take longer than 3 weeks? Yes. But our objective is to hold it for a few days to a couple of weeks, so that we're not like constantly day trading of that. So that's where a lot of members have benefited from it, because they don't have to look at their screen and sit in front of a computer all day. They're on their phone. Sometimes they won't get an alert at all because nothing's happening in the market worth taking. Sometimes they'll get 2-3 alerts in a day. And when they do that, they can take that position immediately. And then we alert them whatever's happening with the position, like taking profits, closing for stop loss. We don't hide anything. These are live trades. There's a portfolio available that you can check out the past performance. It's all out there. We made sure that we were covering that. People understood that, no, we're not just day traders here. We understand the market cycles. We understand the market movements. And we want to make sure that we're taking our time and profiting from the larger moves. Like, yeah, you can make 10 cents every day. That's fine. You can do that. But why not make $3 over 3 weeks? Be consistent with it. Go to sleep peacefully. Don't worry about it. We don't want to be risking too big too fast. So that's why the trading ideas was very popular, and we've done really good on this year so far. It's because we kind of cater to everybody and give them the holding time and provide you with the flexibility to be like, hey, I want to do long-term, short-term stuff like that. So it does do that, and that's why it's become so popular.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too that's important to the whole 10-10 thing was designed for people that don't have time to sit there in front of their screen every day. It was just designed to teach them a strategy we used back when I was in Wall Street and doing things for institutional money. It was literally like, for us, boring as heck. It was just like, did the same thing almost every single day. It was just like over and over, but it made money. Was it ever a huge home run? No. And a lot of what 1010 is it's really designed for the person that doesn't have a lot of time. The person that doesn't want some complex strategy that requires all this knowledge and all these moving parts. It's literally just do this, this, and this. And then you came up with the trading ideas concept, which is there's people that don't want to know, they don't want to do the research to figure out what, positions to buy. So what we do is we basically do that work for them. And it's just a subscription service where, hey, here it is. It'd almost be, I don't know, like a meal plan, I guess is a simple analogy, right? If you don't want to think about like what to eat, to make you healthy, well then, there's meal plans where they just, based on your criteria and your goals, they mail you every day. You get a box, and in the box is your food, and you don't think about it. You just open it and you eat it. That's this. Trading ideas is your meal plan. You don't need to think, but you get healthy by following the meal plan. The trading plan, I should say. So, and then Rick is asking, what are the fees, the minimum buy-in? That's a great question. So, I'll let you take that one.
Sure. So I know for the 3-day weekend and everything, we're doing a special, so we're opening it up at 75 again. It was 75 when we first launched it, but it was then 99. We're doing it at 75 because the standard price is 99. So if you do sign up for that now, you will be locked in at 75. When the prices go up, which they will, it's not going to be applicable to you, but you will be locked in at 75. Starting amount, is that the second part you said?
Yeah, like what is the minimum buy-in is what he was asking.
Honestly, that really depends on you and how you want to work it. Once you get the chat room, you will see the different portfolios, the different strategies. And in that, I explain how I'm doing everything, how much money is going where. That will determine what you want to do. If you're like, I purely want to trade options for the short-term swing, like it's called swing trading for a few days to weeks. That's what I want to do. Maybe $2,000, $5,000, and you focus on that. You do the portfolio and you continue with that. Maybe if you want to start with a larger amount and diversify, you're like, I want to hold small caps and I want to do this. So really, when you get into that, the chat room, you will see and use this, and you will understand that. And again, I do a weekly webinar on Tuesdays after market close. So in half an hour, I will have to jump off to do that. So we do that and we discuss these and we answer these questions because I understand people have them. But yeah, like you can basically start with a couple $1,000s and then diversify, or just focus on one strategy and hammer it home. It's really up to you how you want to do it. Some people and we introduced short-term, like, a couple days to a couple weeks of equities, because some people just didn't want to trade options. They're like, no, I just want equities. I'm like, fine, since I do that, why not introduce that as well? So you have all this opportunity to choose and pick from. So it really is up to you. And you can, once you're in that, you will be able to see like, oh, maybe I can put more in and put a lot of it on the longer term stuff and just trade the small stuff, because our longer term stuff also comes with hedges. We show which hedges we're buying to protect that specific portfolio. So it is there. And all the tools and resources for you to create your portfolio, your breakdown, all of it is there. Subscription is 75 right now. I believe it should be updated. I'll check. But yeah, so starting the weekend webinar, it will be at $75 a month. But after the weekend webinar event, it will go back to 99. And Eve also asked, does the subscription include pre-IPO stocks for buy and hold? They do not, just because that's a very different market and not a lot of brokers offer that opportunity for you to buy and hold them. Some do, some don't. And then again, that's a different market because there's a lot more that goes into understanding those stocks. I personally am not in that market as well. So I will not recommend, or like,
I'm sorry about that.
I don't know much about that market. So I don't do the research on that. So I don't mess with that.
Awesome. So a lot of this stuff is going to be covered in the 3-day. We're going to be doing 2 sessions in the 3-day. We're going to be doing a bonus round on Friday, which we're going to be talking about some juicy stuff. Cause I think by then, today's Tuesday, a lot of stuff going on. Tomorrow is the inauguration day, a lot of stuff going on. We'll see what happens. And we're going to have a pretty clear picture of, what is going to happen by Friday. So we're going to really dive deep into some market patterns, some different things, and some strategic things you can apply in the bonus round. And then on Sunday, you finish off the 3-day And I know last time it was one of the number one things talked about in the 3-day, and you got something planned for that. So is there anything you could kind of let out to let them know what they're going to learn in the 3-day from you?
Sure. So again, like we said in the bonus section, we really want to cover, we'll see how the market shapes up. It'll give us a good idea. I'll show you guys a little bit around the chat room, give you guys a preview of what it looks like, how we performed, because Friday, every weekend we do a portfolio update of how we performed up to that date. So you will kind of see how our portfolio is done over that time. So you get to kind of get an inside peek into that. But for the Sunday, we kind of have, we've been talking a little bit about hedging. We've kind of been talking about the market patterns, seeing how the market's shaping up. Without giving too much away, we're basically trying to hoping that this market this week tells us, what we're looking for, what this administration is going to look like, certain things that we've kind of been waiting for a long time since November, December, and then it'll kind of just shape us like, okay, this is a time to continue with the bull market. So basically we're going to just show you in very, charts and all the cool stuff like you always see in chart time. Okay, what are we looking at? What is our market thesis? How are we positioning ourselves? And just like I said, we'll talk about hedging because that's what I specialize in. That's Chris's favorite topic. It's just, no matter what happens with the markets, we are not worried because we're protected. Most people that start investing in the stock market, they'll look for a time to invest. I'm like, invest now, but hedge yourself. So if you buy at the top and the market drops, you're still going to make money off the hedges, but you can continuously buy. So if you're hedged, doesn't matter what you're doing, because if the market keeps going up, guess what? You're going to make money. But if you're not hedged, you're not going to be able to sleep at night.
This question came in. You got to hit this. Is awesome. Alex said, is your strategy bearish or bullish? That's a great one.
Okay. So my strategy is to make money. In the long term, I am, at least for 2021 and 2022, I am still bullish. I am overall, if I were to give you an answer, I am still bullish on the market. But that doesn't mean that we are reckless or we're careless with our portfolios. We still maintain our risk size. We still maintain our position sizing. That means, we don't put too much in one position. So as long as our portfolio management is under control, and that's all that you guys learn in the trading service, it's explain how to do it for yourself. As long as you can do that, there's no fear in the market because, you're always protected. You're not risking too much and the returns keep coming. So you kind of always like stay, away from everybody else who's like jumping up and down and being in the volatile markets. But if I had in the short term and in next year, 2 years, definitely bullish. But like I said, we don't know what's going to happen. We could see another 10, 15, 20% drop. Doesn't bother us because we know we're protected. We're positioned in a way where if it drops a few percent, we'll be protected. If it drops a lot, we're going to make a lot of money.
Exactly. And I think that's important to realize, for that comment is our strategy bearish or bullish? It's really both. I mean, it's all things. It's whatever the market is doing. That's our strategy. It's not one or the other. Most people have to pick, well, am I going to be bearish or am I going to be long? They have to pick like where they're going to go and they have to go with that. In this strategy, like you go where the market goes. The market goes down, you're bearish and you make an awful lot of money when the market goes down. The market's going up like it has been, you're bullish. Your only position and your only strategy is to follow what the market does on that time. That's why none of these trades are long-term trades. It's not the Warren Buffett buy and hold for 20 years and you'll do just fine. That's not even close to what this is.
I see Eve mentioned something about reducing taxes with stock gains. We can talk about it a little bit. I'll try to cover it on Sunday. We can add a section about that. I understand taxes with stocks is a little bit confusing. And again, we're not CPA, so I will basically just share with you what I have known and what I can find on Google about it. But there are certain ways, certain accounts where people trade. Again, like some people like their cash liquid, so they just trade in accounts. Certain people use tax advantage accounts because they're like, I'm not going to touch this money ever. So there's ways to get about it. But commission cost, Alex, depends what broker you're using. If you are losing a lot of money to commissions right now, you need to talk to your broker or you need to find a better one. Equity trading is zero. So you should be getting in and out of stocks, whether it be Robinhood or TD Ameritrade or anything for $0. Options, I think it's 65 cents, right? 65 cents to buy, 65 cents to close. That it is as low as it's ever been in the 5 years that, it's been like, I remember 4 or 5 years ago, it used to be $6.95 plus 65 cents a contract. So no matter if you open one contract or 100, you had to pay the $6.95.
I remember that.
So, you know, that's why these things have become popular. So right now, like I said, commissions are negligible. It really is just a preference of, you know, what your broker is paying 25 cents TD Ameritrade. That seems like about right. It just depends on how many contracts you're trading. If you're trading, if you're buying and closing a lot more, I think you can even negotiate that. They basically, if you go up to them and you talk to them, you're a loyal customer, this is what you've been trading, you can negotiate the prices. They once you show a certain volume, they'll bring it down.
Well, the other thing that's alarming about that is if 25 cents is eating up most of your earnings, you really need this strategy because you need to be earning a lot more. So it shouldn't be so much about a 65 cent or, you know, a 25 cent, you know, trade fee for doing that. If that's what's the problem, then the problem isn't the trade fee. The problem is we got to find a better strategy to make more money. So I think that's what needs to be adjusted. Let's see, sign up. Oh, Stephen, can you put in the sign up link for the 3-day? But also too, you know, we got 91 people. I want to make sure that all of you stick with us to the very end because we got something really special at the end. And let me get this out of the way. Any of you that sign up today and today only, we have literally the funnest thing I think we've done yet. There is going to be a mystery prize mailed to your house. And I can't tell you what it is, but let's just say like we've been in a little bit of a mode of making people laugh. It's going to be something that makes you laugh. So anybody that signs up today and today only for the 3-day event, I can't tell you what it is, but you're going to get a mystery box mailed to your doorstep, probably from Amazon. So you get those trucks all the time. And when you open it up, the goal is to make you laugh your ass off. And that is today only. So Stephen's going to put the link up on there so you guys can get signed up. Is there a discount for the 3-day workshop for those students that already attended the last few months and would like to reattend? Anonymous, there is not, because this one's different. So, you know, there's no discount. It's $197. And this one is totally different than what you saw last time. There might be 1 or 2 repeats, but even day one, based on the current things going on, like I'm switching it all up. I'm just doing something totally different. Let's see. So I live in Costa Rica, no mail or FedEx, nada. I can get stuff shipped to Costa Rica, I'm sure. So where there's a way, there's a will. I don't care if I got a carrier pigeon, we'll find a way to get it to you.
I'll volunteer to bring it to them.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, you know what? Me and Steven will just fly to Costa Rica on a surf trip and we'll just bring you the damn mystery box. Can't tell you when it's going to be, but we'll be there.
I'm in.
I'm in for that one too. So Sodi, I know you got to jump and I know you got to, you know, go do what you got to do. So I appreciate you joining us for today and kind of giving some wisdom on what everybody's going to learn in the 3-day. And with that being said, I just got an email with some breaking news. So I'm just going to real quick go to this breaking news. This is really important. So hang the line, folks. And I'm going to.
All right. Before you do that, I'm going to head out and I just want to answer one question. Alex, the trading ideas is just a subscription service. It's basically where we share what we are doing in our portfolios. The mentorship is currently closed. So when you see that, that will open up, that we'll talk. That's where you'll learn how to trade the ABC options.
Yes. So it's just so everybody knows, Sodi's going to be on the 3-day. He's got an hour and a half section that he's going to teach the basics of what we get into with the mentorship. Okay. Right. So you can decide, is this something that I'd like more of or not? If the mentorship is something that you like, just let me know or Sodi, and we'll put you on a wait list. Because we do cap it, you know, we deal with you one-on-one. So we have to limit how many people are in at a time. So right now we have a full mentorship program going. You know, as those people start to learn and graduate, we'll be able to open up new spots. So get on a wait list if it's something that you want to be on. And you can decide that, and you'll learn more during the 3 days on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more then. And yeah, Chris, Netflix earnings come out. Netflix up 10% when it wasn't already high enough.
Yeah, exactly. So that chart we saw last night, now actually, I don't know if there's a point where it goes oververt, like in skateboarding or like any, you know, ramp, like in snowboarding, there's oververt. Like, I think we're not a straight line up anymore. I think we're oververt now. So,
But, yeah. All right. I will see you guys Friday.
All right. Thanks. All right, folks. Thank you, Sodi. All right. I'm going to get into this breaking news. This is some important stuff. So let me just get this up here for us. Let's see. Got that. All right, folks, this will just be a second. We all need to hear this. Can you see the screen, Stephen?
I don't know. My computer's going nuts. Yes, I see it.
Good evening, and welcome back to MSTV Worldwide. I've got a top story for you tonight. Congress just approved the deal for $900 million. You idiot, billion. Sorry, correction, $900 billion in the coronavirus economic relief package, which includes a second, number two, stimulus check for most Americans with a taxable income under $75,000. And I have my colleague, Anastasia Beaverhausen, out in the field to talk to some people about how they're spending this newfound stimulus money. Anastasia, how are you? What'd you say, Stephen?
The chap, there's boxes.
Thank you,
in the way.
Seymour.
It's black.
As you know, most Americans are eligible for.
I'm sorry, one more time?
Half of the screen is blacked out. You have something covering it.
Son of a bitch. All right, hang on. We're going to have to do this again.
It just started though. I mean, it was just showed up. There you go. There's one gone. Yeah, two gone. All right, good now.
All right, folks, I'm sorry. I'm not a tech guy. Let's do this again. That kind of ruined the surprise, but whatever.
You can fast forward. I thought there was legit breaking news coming through.
Of course there is. It is breaking news.
All right, let's go.
Good evening, and welcome back to MSTV Worldwide. I've got a top story for you tonight. Congress just approved the deal for $900 million. You idiot, billion. Sorry, correction, $900 billion in the coronavirus economic relief package, which includes a second, number two, stimulus check for most Americans with a taxable income under $75,000. And I have my colleague, Anastasia Beaverhausen, out in the field to talk to some people about how they're spending this newfound stimulus money. Anastasia, how are you?
Thank you, Seymour. As you know, most Americans are eligible for a $600 stimulus check. And I'm here with Thad Hackford, who had just received his second stimulus check. And he has appeared to have bought an IKEA bookshelf with that. How confident are you on your money decisions?
It's a $600 bookshelf, and I can't figure out where peg A4 goes into hole G7.
Most Americans have tried to apply this economic relief somewhere a little bit more safe or wise, like perhaps rent, groceries, a car payment.
But I have a bookshelf.
It looks like you have your hands full, and I'd love to help you, but I need to go pick up my PlayStation 5, so I'll see you later.
See you.
Welcome back to MSTV Worldwide. It seems that Thatch Hackford, or Hackmore, is having a tough time with his stimulus check. I hope he has a lot of books for that bookshelf. And Anastasia has a new PlayStation 5. That is a great use for the funds. But anyway, thank you all for joining us for this unbelievable breaking news story. We'll see you on the next one.
Bookshelf $600, rent $600.
All right, so this stuff just never gets old. The reason I wanted to play that is breaking story, because that is real, what's going on out there, and we just point some fun to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was kind of supposed to flow a lot smoother than it did, but all right, so where should we jump in, Stephen? What do you want to start with here? So I know we kind of did that market update, and that generated a lot of questions, but where should we go?
So we just came out with a speaker lineup video. I'll put that in the chat box in a second so everybody can see who the speakers are. But, for those of you that weren't on the first couple previews that we did, this is a full, so I don't know how much you want to get into it, Chris, but, this is a full financial education. And, what you were saying earlier, as far as, when there's chaos out there, that's a good opportunity, or, hear that when there's blood on the streets, that's when you can go out and you can really make things happen. And I always like to clarify that and kind of highlight that, because, like Sodi was saying, it doesn't matter if it's an up market, a down market, a sideways market, but if you listen to the news and you listen to what's going on with people, they all tell you just, put your money out there, trust it with a financial advisor. Over time, it's going to grow. Diversify in mutual funds, diversify in lifestyle funds. Pick the little things in your 401k, and but it misses so many people. And it goes back to the first preview that we did when we showed you the statistics from the Social Security Administration, right? So 95% of Americans are not going to be able to retire the lifestyle or the way that they want to, or at the age that they want to for retirement. They're either going to have to push it back, or they're going to have to drastically change their spending habits now to put more money away or take on more risk. But how many are you comfortable taking on more risk right now in this kind of market situation, right? I mean, how many of you want to push back your retirement years after you worked your ass off your entire life to be able to enjoy it, right? So listening to what they tell you to do and then seeing the results that gets you, it just amazes me that more people don't want to learn this stuff. Because what we teach, it's not hard. You don't have to be a genius. You don't even have to be extremely smart, right? You just have to be willing to say, open a mind up and say, hey, there's something better out there. And how does somebody that has success, how did they get there, right? And not following what they tell you to do, because it just doesn't work. And statistics prove that. I mean, real life proves that, right? And that doesn't even bring into account, that life happens. I mean, how many times do you think things are going great and then an unexpected medical expense pops up and you're bankrupt, right? Or, man, I'm in the perfect marriage, and then all of a sudden that falls to shit. You're getting divorced, and you know half your assets go to one way or the other. It's just a disaster, and it makes you start over. And I'm just giving you examples of, I talk to people every day through Money School, through Money Multiplier, real life people, real life clients, real life students that are trying to do something better, right? They've just never been taught it before. They never knew that it existed before. I mean, I tell this story all the time. I've been in alternate assets. I was a financial advisor for a couple of years out of college. I learned about entrepreneurship. I learned about real estate investing, and I learned how to control my own money and how to go out there and work for myself. And that was almost 14 years ago, and I never looked back. I just got lucky to get introduced to that at a young age, because my cousin, who at the time I was living with and bought a house with, happened to go to high school with a guy whose father owned a company that taught this kind of stuff, that partnered with Robert Kiyosaki. And I ended up actually working with Robert Kiyosaki directly through that. So that was my introduction into a lot of this. And so I was lucky in that aspect. Not everybody will do that. You get caught up in working your job, working your regular life, having kids, doing all that stuff that life's all about. And that's a beautiful thing. But it just, these strategies that we teach are so simple. So that's what the 3-day training is all about. I've spent almost 14 years traveling the country, 47 states, building relationships. Okay. Relationships are everything in this business. And you're going to hear something you'll hear on our group trainings through MSTV, something you'll hear from all of our expert speakers during this 3-day training. Every one of them is going to tell you relationships are one of the most important things when it comes to business and when it comes to success. And what Chris is doing with MSTV, Money School TV, bringing people like myself into the organization, people like Sodi, people like, the Chris Rudes and the Jack Bosches, is all we're doing is we're sharing our network, our relationships that we've built over 12, 14, 16, 20 years, bringing them to you that you can take advantage of it. So I don't really know where I'm going with that. I kind of went on a little rant there just to kind of get things kicked off here, but that's what Money School is all about. So what we did is we took that and we said, all right, so how do we build an education system that works for the average person, that doesn't matter if you're starting with nothing right now, or you already have a couple million in the bank and you want to learn how to protect that couple million and how to leverage that couple million and how to make that couple million 10 million, 20 million, and go from there, right? So strategies that work for everybody. And that's what Money School allows you to do. And like you said before, we teach a lot of different concepts. And it's not because I want every single one of you to go out there and be a wholesaler, flip houses, buy land, buy notes, buy crypto, invest in the stock market and options, invest in hedging. I don't want you to do all of these strategies. I want you to pick what works for you. And I want you to concentrate on one or two of those, have success there, and then you can start building from there. But multiple streams of income is very, very important. And these strategies are going to, and we're not even telling you to go quit your job. If you love your day job, if you have a career, you've been doing it for a long time, continue doing it. but hedge that money. Maybe instead of contributing to the 401k, maybe pull some of that a little bit less into the 401k and put it towards a infinite banking system and start creating a bank for yourself for the future. Maybe take an old 401k, instead of that sitting in lifestyle funds at Fidelity, maybe move that to a Horizon self-directed IRA where you now control that money and privately lend that money to somebody that needs the money and get 12, 15% returns plus a couple points or 3-4 points on different deals that you're lending on. It's not hard. It's just being taught stuff that you know how to do. So that's what the 3-day training is all about.
I think it's important what you just said is, we had Sodi on, so everybody's mind goes to stocks and options, and a couple of people are like, oh, so it's options, education. No, it's actually a strategy education. It's not teaching. Options are just what we use to make the strategies happen, but it's not your traditional, oh, this is a put and this is a call and this is how you do it. No, it's actually teaching you strategies that you apply in 10 comes for 10 minutes. Okay, whether it's 10 minutes a day or 10 minutes every week or a month or a quarter, however much you want to apply it, it's a strategy you will use. And there's several strategies, but a strategy you'll use to make income. Do not sign up for 10-10 option strategy. If you want to learn how to trade naked puts and calls and make huge rips on one trade, you'll be very disappointed. You really will. Go find another options trading course that's going to teach you how to risk it all, put it all on black or red, and hopefully it doesn't hit green. But this is this is how you're going to make consistent, predictable income, how you're going to protect your downside by making sure that you control how much you want to lose, not somebody else, and how you're going to make money consistently and persistently over a long period of time with a very high probability of success. That's 10-10. It is not like the other ones. I'm telling you, and if somebody was coming into 10-10 and they're like, oh, I want to make a ton of money in the stock market, we'll show you how to make money in the stock market, but we're not going to show you how to take unnecessary risk to shoot for the moon to make, to capture that one day that Tesla did a big jump and you bought the call on that. That's not what we do. But the other thing too about Money School and this training for the 3-day, it's not just options and stocks. It's not just teaching you different methods and strategies of real estate. It's not just teaching you how to leverage your bank to fund your deal at 100%. Most of you don't even know that a traditional bank could fund 100% of your real estate deal. You probably didn't even think that was possible. I hit that very early on in day number 1. We also teach you about, like Stephen was talking about, how do we use your traditional employer sponsored retirement plan, your 401k, your 403b. If you've got that money there, that's where we start. We don't need to create new accounts and new things that require new money. Maybe we start with what you have now. And we use that in a different way than anyone's ever taught you, because nobody can make money doing what we're going to teach you how to do, because it's really you doing this. But how do we use your traditional 401k in a different way? How do we tap into the equity in your house and have that money go to work? Really, the whole basis is, I don't care what walk of life you're in. I don't care what you do for a living, and I don't care what your goals are. Money is a piece of all of them. And if you don't understand that you need to take back control of your money and learn some of these different strategies on how to make your marching dollars go to work, then this probably wouldn't be for you. This is for people that want to not learn how to work harder or work longer. This is for people that want to learn how to make their money work harder than them. That's what the 3-day is. And that isn't one-dimensional. It's not just stocks and options. It's not just real estate. Okay. It's not just employer sponsored retirement plans or home equity lines of credit or private equity groups or any of that, or, it's all of it, because we don't know what side or where you're at in your life or what you have a desire to do. So we got to hit a lot of things, and that's it. This isn't everything that you're going to learn in the 3-day. You're not going to apply it all. You're going to find 1, maybe 2 things that really strike a fancy to you. And that's what you're going to go deep in. And that's what we're going to tell you should do. And then we're going to give you all the resources and everything you need to do that. I don't know anywhere at all you can go for $197 and learn the stuff we teach. Matter of fact, I know for a fact there's no one else doing this. No one. We're it. And we're going to basically make sure that all of you get more than $197 worth of value in the first hour. And if you don't get what you want out of the 3 days, I personally will write you a check for your money back. Because if you didn't get what you desired out of this 3-day, by all means, I'll just give you your money back, because, obviously we failed you if that's the case, which we don't fail people, and maybe we're just not a fit. So I'm not going to post it up there, but I'm telling you on this, the 90 people that are on here, that I'll give you your money back if you don't like it. If that's not me putting my money where my mouth is, then I don't know what to tell you. Plus, and I was informed by Shauna, who's the boss here, just so everybody knows, we have somebody to answer to too, and her name is Shauna. So we cannot ship outside the United States for the mystery gift. I guess it's not something that we can ship. And she also informed me,
Anastasia, right?
Anastasia Beaverhausen. Yep, that's our boss. She told me that we cannot ship outside the US. So unfortunately, Costa Rica, would we bring your mystery gift? Yes, when me and Steven go out there to take a surf vacation. I don't know when that's going to be. So, you know, some of the other things too about the 3-day is some of the speakers that we bring in. It's not just you listening to me or you listening to Steven or Sodi. We have people like Brent Kessler, my mentor. Okay. The person I learned how to do privatized banking and the infinite banking concept from. We have Chris Rude, who's, you know, one of the top wholesalers in the country and has, you know, unbelievable things to show you with mobile home parks. So then we've got a brand new session. Okay. And some of you might have seen Chris Rude, but maybe you heard Chris Rude talk about wholesaling. This time he's going to be talking more about affordable housing, mobile home parks. Okay. So again, you know, those of you that think you know where we're going, you're like, oh yeah, I saw Chris Rude last time. You didn't see this. We went to all the speakers and we basically told the speakers we need something new. And they all said, absolutely. You want to learn how to flip land? We just took his course and we're going through it right now. We got, you know, the land guy. Okay. He's literally a legend in the space. We've got Jack Bosch coming on to teach you how to flip land. Okay. Then we've got seed capital. You need money? Great. We'll show you how to get money. We've got another bonus thing where we're going to have Alan hopefully come on. And I say hopefully because I haven't confirmed 100% what day it's going to be. He's going to be talking about where your money is. You know, Grant Cardone always says, who's got your money, right? We got your money. So when you go through the 3-day, if you got real estate deals and you want them funded, we got your money. But we need to teach you what we expect. We need to teach you what the perfect loan proposal is and how to do that before we're going to give you our money. You don't want our money? Great. You don't need the 3-day. But if you need some money for your deals, we got lots of it and we will lend it to you because you'll learn how we want to lend that money. So that's another thing you're going to learn. Who else do we got? We got NCH coming on to teach you about entities and asset protection. Some of you may have seen that, but that's new. Okay, that's a new one. We've got the standard one, which you can never get enough of this. Andrew going to be teaching about the software, Flipping Edge, how to use software to better your real estate business. We got the options. We got the market pattern special event. God, there's so much stuff. And I'm not even getting through it all. I'm just running out of steam to keep telling you about it. There's just a lot to teach you.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know, it's important to understand the money aspect of it first, right? And that's why it's money, it's real estate, money, legacy are the 3 pillars of education for money school. All right. Real estate, money, and legacy. And the reason, and what I love about money school and what we teach during this 3-day class is, you know, I've been to a lot of trainings over the years. I've worked with a lot of different trainers. I've been to a bunch myself, a lot of mentorships, things like that. And, you know, what I found is everybody has the little niche that they want to push, you know? So if you go to a real estate education course, they're going to really, you know, shit on the stock market. They're going to kind of talk down upon some other investments and things like that. And they're going to try and say, you know, real estate's the only thing to do. Or if you go to a stock training, you know, why are you wasting your money in real estate? You can follow these trades, sit at your computer all day and make all this money in real estate. But, and that's all fine and dandy, but A, what if you don't know what you like first, right? What if you never, this is your first experience to doing something different? And B, why not, you know, learn a couple different strategies, go out there, test them out, or, you know, experience them and figure out what works for you and what you enjoy doing and run with it. Right. So that's what Money School Essentials is going to do. It's going to teach you real estate. Absolutely. We're not going to show you how to go out there and, you know, how much does a new kitchen cost and replace all the windows in the house. And while we give you the tools to be able to evaluate and do that, we're not going to spend a ton of time on that because we don't even know if that's what you really want to learn and what you really want to do. Or maybe you're like me, who, you know, I've done a bunch of different areas of real estate. I don't like flipping. Like, it's just something I don't enjoy doing. I don't like working with contractors. I don't like that aspect of it, but I like the marketing side. So occasionally I'll go out there and I'll find a wholesale deal. You know, I like the rental aspect side of it. So if I see a deal or presented from another rental, another wholesaler that I know, I'll buy that rental. You know, it just depends. But you got to go out there and you got experiences. So we're going to introduce you to these different strategies, these different concepts. in real estate, in private lending. And it's all about, though, everything we do is about taking control of your money and changing one thing that will change everything in your life. And that's what our entire theme and our entire focus during these 3 days is going to be. So while the strategies are going to be multiple strategies and ways of doing things, it's all about taking control of your money, protecting yourself, and getting ready for what's in this market and building for the future. And that's what it's all about. So we have any good questions coming in over here, Chris?
No, I'm just trying to help Kevin here. We had an issue there, so I'm just trying to get him over to Shauna here real quick.
Okay, cool.
And
while you're doing that, I'm going to share my screen just to give I'll kind of highlight some different things we're going to talk about during the 3 days. Let's see here. Okay, so if you see on my screen, this is the 3-day training. These are just kind of bullet points about what we're going to go through. So on Friday, we do, and I need to add stuff to this, obviously, but on Friday, we do go spend the entire day talking about traditional financing, non-traditional financing, community-based commercial loans, private money, hard money. We'll talk about our money school's money that you're able to use. But, whether you need money or whether you have money you're trying to lend out, that's something that you need to understand, because it's all going to work the same. And, so we're going to get into things like, let me see here. So, when you start doing private lending, what is needed to be able to do private loans? And as Chris said, once you have money, where is that money located? How do you tap into things like hidden equity, whether that's a HELOC, whether that's a 401k? How do you take advantage of stuff like that? So I was looking for one slide. So all these different types of real estate that you can get into, how you take control of your money and self-direct that money, how you teach others about that.
let me hit real quick on the hidden equity part too. A lot of people, when we talk about hidden equity, their mind immediately goes to, okay, to tap into the equity in my house, I have two options. I could get a home equity line of credit. Okay. But I don't, some people would say, I don't qualify for that. Actually, you can share your screen, Stephen. I was using that. I don't qualify for the hidden or for the home equity line, or I don't qualify for a refi. Well, we've got a speaker on the 3-day that's going to teach you how to tap into private equity and get the equity out of your house without creating any debt and without creating any monthly payments. That's right. There's private equity out there for things like that, where they will basically give you the equivalent of what you'd get in a home equity line of credit, except for you don't have a monthly payment and you don't have any debt on your back. Okay. They're going to share in the future appreciation in the property in the future sometimes. So like all these things are available, but a lot of people don't realize that there's resources like this, because the traditional knowledge that we get out there is self-serving. And I hate to say it that way, but the truth hurts. And what you've learned about money your entire life, I will tell you, some of it is a lie. It's self-serving. It's designed to make somebody else money, not you. Now, is there a cost for entry into the 3-day? Yes, it's $197, but $197 so that you can take back control of your money, learn the things that the wealthy do, learn the things that I've learned by spending way more than $197. That's what you get. And you get access to all these people. Imagine that, like one event where you can come and you have access to Brent Kessler, Chris Rude, Jack Bosch, Bo Winder. Oh my God. Stephen Nagy, myself, Matthew Sullivan, Eric Winkler, Andrew, Sodi, who else do we got? And I think I got them all there. I'm just going through the list, but somebody asked, is there a link that shows all the people and all the speakers? Yes. Not only a link.
I'll pull it up too.
Yeah. And Stephen posted a video on there that you guys should watch that shows actually a video of all the speakers that are going to be coming on. So the other thing too, Jeff mentioned, he's interested in infinite banking with over 35 years in real estate and stocks. So Jeff, we got something really interesting for you. And I'm thinking I'm going to probably get into this in the bonus session on Friday, but I'm going to get into it today too, because I want to make sure you guys get some tangible takeaways today. Yeah. With infinite banking, me and Sodi and we're doing a case study actually in 11 days called The Tale of Two Traders, that we're using. We changed one thing, and we changed where our money went first. We use these banking policies, okay, with giant mutually owned insurance companies. Then what we're doing is we're taking money from our bank, okay, our banking policy, putting the money into a brokerage account to trade stocks. And we're doing it in a very unique way. And we've got this tale of two traders showing how each of us have used this for different trading strategies. And the other thing I'm going to show you today, Jeff, is I'm going to show you before we run out of time today, I'm going to show you the flow of money and how I use the banking policies to fund my real estate deals. I'm going to show you just the flow of how that works. I did it this morning, and I always take things for granted because I just do this so much. And I showed it to somebody and they had like just the craziest aha moment. They're like, oh my God, I get it now. I'm like, what do you get it from what I just drew? So if it worked for this person, it might work for you. And I'm going to show you that in a little bit today.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a good point. You know, we get, you know, a lot of people will attend this 3-day because they want to learn how to use their banking policies better. And then we'll have a lot that come on here that learn about the banking policies from the 3-day and open them up. And either way you go is great, but it's very important. You start your banking system one way or another, because, you know, your first one is going to launch your entire, you know, banking system moving forward. So you got to get that first one going. And by changing that one thing, it's going to multiply your income immediately. So it's going to create an additional stream of income just by opening this policy. So we have Brent Kessler joining us. You know, Brent Kessler owns, founder and owner of Money Multiplier, and he's going to be on with us Saturday morning, you know, talking to you direct about this stuff. And he has, you know, 19 policies. So he has, you know, his headquarter policy and 18 branch offices, as we call it. So he keeps adding them, you know, as he grows his finances. So, you know, that's very, very important. You know, like I said, change one thing and it changes everything. That's going to create an additional stream of income for you immediately. Did you have something, Chris, or you?
I got all sorts. I'm just kind of, you know, we always have so much stuff, which is why we do these pre-events to kind of get some of the stuff flushed out. You know, you know, this is just that. So I'm just taking some things I want to show on the whiteboard. 2 strategies. Number one, somebody asked, if I've got a HELOC and I've got equity in my house, then what? What do I do with it? I don't know what to do with it. I'm going to put a couple of things up on the board that I do with my home equity line and also my mother's. Yep. My mother's home equity line of credit pays for her car payment. And I want to show you how to do that. Now, my mom, you know, won't listen to me and buy a car because she likes getting a new car every 3 years. So she leases. I don't really like leasing, but hey, that's what she likes. So what we had to do is say, all right, well, if you like leasing, let's have somebody else pay your lease payment. And that's what we did. We use our home equity line of credit and we make that money go out there and work. And I'll show you exactly what I do and how I do it. And I'll show it to you on the board in just a second. So I want to make sure we get those things out. Okay. And Eve is asking about what platform where the trainings go. So if you go through the 3-day, you get access to.
I'll show it. Let me show it.
Just show it. Just so it's much easier just to see.
All right. So those of you that are enrolling for the 3-day, you're going to get some emails that are going to have you with registration links for the Zoom that starts Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. You're also going to get emails from Teachable. So Teachable is the online education platform we use for everything right now. And so you're going to get an invite to create your Teachable membership. And then what will happen, is it sharing? Yeah, you guys can see, right? So what will happen is you'll log in to chrisnaugle.teachable.com, or you can go to moneyschooltv.com and it brings you here. And so this is where you're going to be able to log in. So where it says 3-day Money School Virtual Essentials, you'll be able to click that. And that's going to have everything in there, allowing you to register each day for the Zooms, schedule a call with me so we can discuss before or after the class and make sure you have strategies for moving forward. Again, we don't want you to just educate. We want you taking action on what you're learning. So I'm going to talk with as many of you as possible after the training and also text with you throughout the 3 days over the entire weekend. So we'll get that set up there. Your comprehensive wealth builder, your free self-directed IRA. Those of you that learn about self-directing and want an IRA or a solo K, Horizon Trust waives the $350 setup fee they typically charge since you're a Money School student. Your seed application for seed capital that Bo's going to talk to you about on Saturday is going to be located right here. And then all of your recordings are going to be here. So you'll have your recordings that are on there. I'm not sure if you get all these as well, but right now they're on here, but you'll definitely get the recordings for this upcoming one. So that's all on there right there. Also in Teachable, for enrolling for the 3-day training, you are also going to get 1 month access for free to Money School TV. So Money School TV is our on-demand video library of people from Chris and my network, experts, millionaires, billionaires, entrepreneurs, investors. You know, everything you could think of is all in this one area of Chris and me doing basically interview style, but, you know, picking their brains about different subjects. So let's say you're having a down day, hop on here and start watching some of these mindset videos. These things will, if you're having a slow day or you're just not feeling good or feeling down and out, watch a couple of these videos and it's going to turn things around just like that for you. I mean, it's going to give you that little motivation you need to say, you know what, F this. And let me just move towards the future. You know, you want to learn a little bit about money 101, a little bit about the stock market, a little bit about real estate investing, multifamily investing, wholesaling. You know, I mean, we could go on, but, you know, flipping land, you know, how
we just did that one. That one's brand spanking new. I think it just hit today.
Yeah, this one just came out today. So we're always adding new ones. So different alternate investments, things like Bitcoin, investing in gold and silver, you know, whole life, employer sponsored plans, you know, self-directed. So we have all this education. So you get access to all of this as well within this database. You also get the
crazy
file
that
vault.
we did that much in this year. That's just insane. I very rarely look at all the stuff. We just keep making new content, but
yeah, it's awesome, man.
It's just incredible.
So you also get file vault, which are all the tools needed for evaluating real estate deals, all the spreadsheets that you can use, the credibility builder, the private lending package. So we've talked about a lot of this on preview number 2. So watch preview number 2, the recording for that. But you get all of this with the $197 3-day essentials workshop. So that's everything that you're going to be able to log in and get access to. We're coming out with some really cool real estate education, some different group boot camps and stuff like that. So we'll be talking more about that, but that'll all be located within. So this is your central education platform for everything money school related. All right. And then the 10/10 trading stuff will get put in here as well. Now, if you want to see who the speakers are for this upcoming one, you can go to moneyschooltraining.com/registration. And this will show you a little bit more about what we're going to talk about each day, and then who the featured speakers are. Oh, and the recordings are right here as well. So you have the first one preview we did, the second preview we did last week. So you can scroll down through here. So Jack, myself, Chris, Bo, Eric, Brent. I feel like we're missing a couple people. But, so those are the speakers.
Probably
there.
didn't have photos for them, or they had a bad hair day.
Chris, you want to watch this 2-minute video?
Yeah, play it.
I haven't seen this yet.
It's good. Can you turn it up? It's almost impossible to hear. Oh, there you go. Turn that sucker up.
January 22nd and 24th. Meet Jack Bosch. He's in
Better or no? It's by the way I'm sharing it.
Not really. It's really hard to hear. Just
we'll share the link so you guys can watch it, but it's a little highlight about all the speakers on here. So definitely check that out. So did that answer the question of what we got coming up?
Yeah. There's random questions coming in. Jeff, I'm going to hit your question. So Jeff is just asking, you know, about a mentor for the money multiplier. The good news about that is, you know, once you go through the 3-day, Jeff, and you learn this stuff from us, and we're going to do an advanced training on money multiplier on the 3-day as well. But once you do that, you get a mentor. Once you become a member of the money multiplier family, and there's no fee for becoming a member of the money multiplier family, you get a mentor. So you couple of them actually. You get me, you get Steven, you get Brent, you get Andrew for your mapping specialist, you get the whole team. And anyone else that's on here that's already a member of the Money Multiplier. I mean, every single thing we do at the Money Multiplier, you're just part of a team. You're part of our family, and that's what we call it. So no need for a mentor that you're going to pay. You just get us on that. So
yeah, it sounds like he doesn't have a policy yet. So I just put my email in there. Just email me and I have time tomorrow. We can talk tomorrow about the basics of getting a policy started.
Right. And actually, one thing, Steven, you didn't mention, Debbie just brought this up and I love it. If you do the 3-day this time, you do get all the recordings from the prior 3 days. I totally forgot to put that in there. So remember, I said every 3-day event that we do is different. So you can go back and watch the other ones and catch up on the other speakers that we had at the prior 3 days. I'm correct in saying that, right? They're all on there?
They're in there. If we're going to keep it that way, this is going to be the last time.
Yeah, that's true, because it would just get to be too much. So if you do this one, you're probably going to get it, but this will be your last. So, you know, get it before it's gone. That's a good way to put it, Steven. Because did you see the look on his face, everybody? He's like, yeah, but this will be the last time we ever do that one. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Let's see. So yeah, we got a couple things in there. Steven just sent that. So Steven, I want to get into a couple things that, you know, I want to train. Is there anything else you wanted to go over before I jump into this?
No, I just, one of the things, we have a full schedule set up, but we do leave time each day for question and answer. We're always looking to make sure that you get everything you want out of the training. So as I said before, email me or we'll text throughout the weekend. Let us know what's on your mind. Let us know what you want to learn about. And we'll either, if we're not covering it at some point purposely during the weekend, we'll spend some time during the Q&A to make sure that we do answer your questions. Because that's our goal. I mean, with this, obviously at $197, we put, what is it? 5 figures worth of marketing out there just to get people on these. And so we're not making money on it really. I mean, so our goal is to provide value to you, make sure you're getting out what do you want to, because we're growing our money school community. And the more we grow, the more students we bring in, the more word of mouth, the more positivity out there, the more we can provide and do more for the future. And that's our number one goal right now, especially until we can start getting back to doing some of these in-person masterminds and in-person super valuable, high next level events. But get the essentials now, get the education now, become part of the family pretty much. And that's what I consider money school. So, that's what this is all about.
Absolutely. So folks, what I want to do real quick while we got some time, and I understand that with the 90, or I'm sorry, we're at 70 people now, with the people that we have on here, some of you, this might not make sense because you haven't seen what the money multiplier is and you haven't seen the infinite banking concept, but I still want you to just see this because this is kind of how it works. What I want you to envision, right? If all of you have one place where your money starts. You make money, let's just call it your W-2, your money goes somewhere. Most of you, that's a conventional bank. And your conventional bank probably pays you, I would assume, less than 1%. Just a guess, but probably most of you are getting less than 1% on your money. So that's where your money's going. What we're going to do is we're going to show you how to change one thing. We're going to show you how to change where that money goes first. Okay, so this place is going to earn you 4% plus a dividend. Okay. And maybe not all the money, but this is a certain percentage of what you make, you're going to decide to put in here. I'm not saying you're going to put every penny, but I just want you to think you're going to change where your money goes first. And then all I want you to think about is if this is where your money now went and it's earning 4% plus dividend, what I want you to think about is I want you to think about the money going from there, going over to here, which is where your money goes now. Now, this is credit cards, this is debts, this is cars, this is all where your money goes now. But then what I want you to do is this is how it stops. Your money goes from your traditional bank today and it goes over to here and all this stuff gets paid, but you lose that money. That money's gone forever. You'll never get that money back. What I want to show you how to do is what we call recycle and recapture. I'm going to call it R&R, recycle and recapture. I want to show you how to get the money that you were giving away to everybody else's bank, credit cards, the debts, the car payments, everything that you're giving money to. And I want to show you how to put that money back over here. In other words, if your car payment right now is $500 a month, I want to show you how to put $500 a month back into your bank, not somebody else's bank. So this is kind of what I want you to think of. Now, let me show you the process of how this works. And this is not for all of you, but again, I can't hit everything all in one, but let's say you have a business, a real estate business, or any business. This is your LLC over here, or your entity, right? So this is your business. And I don't care what it is, but this is it right here. I didn't want to cover that. So this is your business. So over here is your bank. Right now, this bank for many of you is a regular traditional bank. But again, if you change one thing, add one step, this bank will be a privatized bank that pays you a guaranteed 4% plus dividend. So now on this bank right now, the name on your bank is something like Citigroup or Wells Fargo or Bank of America. We're going to change the name on the bank. We're going to put your name there. You are the bank. So now you got money in here. So let's just use 10 grand. Okay. We're going to use $10,000. Let's say you have $10,000 in your private bank and you want to get that money over here to your LLC to fund a real estate deal. You found a great duplex. You want to buy it. It's got a good cash on cash return. You're going to make some money right out of the bat, right off the bat, you're going to make a bunch of money on this. And you want to fund this real estate deal. Well, here's how we would do it. We would then take a loan from your bank. Why would we take a loan from your bank? Well, because you would take a loan from somebody else's bank to do this. So why not use your bank? And if you take a loan from your bank, that money is going to come out. I'm just going to use dollar for dollar. Now we have $10,000 sitting in your bank account. Now, what bank account is this? This is a new bank account that we're going to have you go to your local bank and create. That's why we call it a segregated bank account. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a big line down the middle. This is the line in the sand that you have to draw. Over here, this is you personally. Okay, this is your personal money. Okay, that's your personal bank. And over here, this is your business. A lot of you think of your business the same as you. You think that you are your business is you, which it is not. You and your business are separate, and you need to think of it that way. So this line in the sand is your money stays on this side and your business money stays on this side. And if we're going to have that money transfer, I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. We're going to do it the right way, not the wrong way. So once the money goes into this bank, it's still your personal bank. We have to get this money into your business. And how we're going to do that is we're actually going to do a promissory note. And this promissory note is nothing more than a simple promise from you to pay basically from you personally to your entity so that your entity knows that it has to pay you back. Now, I know this seems silly, but if you don't change your mindset to start thinking of your money the same as the bank's money, then you're never going to get off the ground with this. We have to, even though you envision this as being the same monies, it's not. So what we're going to do is a promissory note. Now, I'm just going to tell you what I do. I structure my promissory notes at 6%. And I'm going to give you real numbers. I did a loan to one of my companies. Let's just say this is my company, Flip Out. Okay. I lent $10,000 from my banking policy to my entity, and I did a promissory note. And that promissory note basically said that I'm going to charge my company 6% over 3 years, and the payment's going to be $340.22. Where did I come up with $340.22? There's a website that you all should know called bankrate.com. You can all go there. It's free. There's financial calculators and loan calculators. You can just basically figure out whatever you want for a loan. If you want to make a loan from your bank to your company, well, you pick the terms. See, over here, this is your bank. You are in full control of every aspect of it. It's the whole idea, be in control of your money. If you're in control of your money, you're in control also of the terms. So you set the terms. Well, my terms were 6% over 3 years, paid back from my company. So I lent that money to Flip Out, and I used that money for, I don't know, let's just pick business equipment. It was actually used for something different, but I'm just trying to keep this simple here. So I used it for business equipment, and I knew that my company, Flip Out, was going to have to pay $340.22 back to my bank. So what I did, once this was done, my business got this $10,000. So this 10 grand went into my business account, and I bought business equipment, computers, this stupid screen you're looking at here, which was about $5 grand. These were things that I needed in the business that were going to make me more money. So in doing this, now what I'm going to do is this thing, this little board I'm writing on makes money. I'm going to take the money that this makes, and I want that money making it back over to me personally. So I'm going to then set up a bill pay. So Flip Out has a bill pay set up from its bank account back to me for $340.22. This is a real loan. That's why I know these numbers. Okay, $340.22 every month. So every month, Flip Out sends a check to me personally. And I love getting these checks, folks. I mean, how many of you love getting a check in the mail, right? It comes in the mail, you get that little bank check, you tear the edges off. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You sit there and you like peel the edges off, just like this. You're like, all right, it's in here somewhere. And then you start dissecting it. You're like, all right, the check's in here. And then all of a sudden you're like, there's the check. And what do? You look at it, you endorse it, and then you just put it in the bank. That was kind of fun doing that because that's exactly what it's like. But you do that, and now all of a sudden that check is in your bank account. It's not in somebody else's bank account, it's in yours. And then all I do is I take one additional step. Because remember, once the money's here, so every month I got $340.22 in my bank. But this bank, the segregated bank at a regular bank account, isn't paying me anything. This bank over here pays me. So what I want to do is I want to get this $340.22 back into my bank. I want to repay the loan that I took from my bank. So all I do is I set up a one-page loan repayment form for $340.22. And every single month from this segregated bank account, the insurance company, my bank, deducts $340.22 from this, but this account already got that money in. That was that check I just told you about, right? Every month shows up the same day, unless it falls on Martin Luther King Day, it comes the next day. So I build in a little flexibility. All that happened here is I literally became the bank. This 10 grand that Flip Out needed, the company didn't have the money. So I was going to need to get the money from somewhere. So I could have done what? I could have used a credit card, same difference. Now I'm paying somebody else interest. I could have taken a loan from the bank. I'm still paying somebody else interest. I could have used a line of credit, which Flip Out has one. I still am paying somebody else's bank money. I want to be the bank. I want, just like my hat says, and Stephen normally has his, BYOB, I want to become my own bank or your own bank. And to do that, I got to think like a bank. This is thinking like a bank. If you really look at what happened here, folks, this is not complicated. All I did is I literally took the money from here, moved it over to here, took it from there and put it back over there. Remember I drew the circle? That's a terrible circle, but you get the drift. I took money from my left pocket, I moved it to my right pocket, which is my entity, and I went from my right pocket back to my left pocket. But one thing I caught in the middle is I took back the interest that I would have normally given away to somebody else. Now, am I going to get rich off 340.22? No. But how many times can I do this? I can do this as many times as I want, as long as I have money over here. And if I'm consistently putting money over here, either monthly or annually, this thing always has additional money that I can do this with. And the more times that I set this up, the more of these private loans I do, the more times I can get these little checks coming in the mail. So maybe this one's 340, maybe the next one's 600, maybe the next one's 500, maybe the next one's 100. You get the drift? All I'm doing is I'm taking back the money I would have normally given to somebody else. And I just do it over and over. And somebody said, well, how do I use the equity in my house? You know, somebody said that. Well, the same way that I would do this. So let's just say somebody's got equity in their house. They've got a home equity line of credit, but they don't know what to do with it. So over here, we're just going to do a couple, right? So I've got money in my infinite banking policy. Let's just use a couple examples. I've got a 401k, which has a $50,000 loan that I can take out. I'm just going to give different sources of money. Over here, I've got my HELOC, got my home equity line of credit. All this money is over here. And the biggest thing we need to do is get that money to work. Because right now, outside of, well, pretty much all these things are, this money is making money in the market. This one's making 4% plus dividends. So roughly about 6%. This one is actually making you nothing. That's the laziest money. And I'm going to play another video before we're done, the lazy money video. Actually, Stephen, do you have that video or do I need to email that one to myself? Actually, you know what? I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that one for tomorrow. So this is your money. You got all these sources. So now what we need to do is we need to get these marching dollars working for you. So how do we get these little marching dollars working? Well, we need to put them to work. So what can I do? Well, let's just say I got a friend and his name's Chris Rude. And Chris Rude has a company called Rude Real Estate. And he buys real estate and he needs money to buy those. So what I can do is let's just pick on the HELOC. I could take the $50,000 in my HELOC. I could then lend it, and let's just put something in the middle to Chris Rude. Okay, I could do that. And I'm going to charge Chris Rude 12%. And this is a promissory note, just like I showed you a second ago. And we're going to show you how to do this. And let's say I want to do it for 1 year. I want to lend 50 grand to Chris Rude at 12%. There's some things we need to know because we got to also not just do a note. We need a mortgage. We need to protect ourselves. We need insurance on that house. So there's some documents that you need to put in order, which we'll teach at the 3-day. But now all of a sudden I took this money and I gave it to Chris. Chris Rude then writes me a check every single month for this same amount of money. So 12%, what would that be? Is that 500? I might be doing math, right? So 500 a month, Chris Rude is going to pay back to me over here. So now all I did is I just generated and made money. Now you might say, yeah, but the HELOC cost me 5% interest. True. If it costs you 5% interest, but you're making 12%, I'm doing the math wrong, you're coming out ahead, aren't you? You see what I mean? You're making the spread. Well, that's just the HELOC. Your 401k, same deal. Let's say it's 5%. You could do that same thing to Chris Rude, but maybe you don't want Chris Rude. Well, what else could you do? Could you do 10-10? You sure could. What else could you do? You could do private funds. So private investments, you could do those. How much do those pay? I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 30%. You could do that. You see what I mean? All we need to do is we need to take money from one side and move that money from one side back to the other side. But then what we need to do is we need to find a way to get the money from this side back to this side. And that's the recapture. I know I'm getting sloppy with drawing this, but trying to just kind of make a point. We can take this money and we can use it. All we need to do is create a circle of money from one side to the next. And we will teach you how to do that. That got a little sloppy. Didn't quite come out as good as I thought, but you guys get the drift, right? This is what we need to do. We need to make all your money that is sitting somewhere right now, or money that we're going to create through a banking system. And we need to move that money to a revenue generating activity. You know, I'm not the only one talking about this. There's another guy that maybe some of you know, Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In his book, he talks a lot about the people that build wealth do it by creating income. They don't do it by storing money in bank accounts. Actually, I think it's in Second Chance or one of his books, he talks about the people that think the winner is the one that has the most money in the bank. That's often the person that has no money in the bank when it's all done and said. So we need to teach you how to move your money. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's see. Debbie had a question. I was told I can't loan money to my LLC from the CPA. It's considered owner's equity. Can you give me Reader's Digest? That's interesting. I mean, I have a CPA, a very, very good CPA, and my CPA absolutely says I can lend money to my company. From me personally to my company, there's two ways. You can lend it to your company. As long as you charge your company interest and have a promissory note, you can lend it to your company, or you can do what your CPA said, and you could do owner's equity. It's your choice. If your company had to borrow money from a bank, why would your CPA say you can't lend money to your company? I know for a fact you can't, but you know, I can't, I'm not a CPA. I'm not going to fight a CPA's suggestion. I would say maybe get a second and a third opinion, or call my CPA and he'll talk to you about it, because this is how I'm doing it. Let's see, pay off other credit cards. Oh, Lynette, how much time do we got? We're pretty much at time. Let me do one more, Stephen.
Yeah, man.
I hate leaving a question unanswered. So here's her question. So what about a credit card? How about the easiest way to make money? How much are all of you paying on your credit card debts? Okay. Anyone want to take a guess at how much an average credit card debt would cost? Usually, well, let's do percentages. Usually it's anywhere between 15 and 24%. That's how much your credit card costs. And we all have credit cards. Most of us have those Amazon credit cards. So if you've got money over here, and I don't care if it's, you know, the privatized bank, any money over here, let's just call it your regular bank account. Let's just keep this simple. This is your checking account. And you got 10 grand in your checking account for a rainy day. But yet over here, every month, you're writing a $200 check to a credit card that's charging you, let's just bump it up to 20%. Let's just call it 20% for simple mathematics. And you don't even see a problem here. Most people wouldn't even understand the problem in this equation. I've got lazy money sitting in a checking account, and I've got a debt over here, okay? A debt over here that I pay $200 a month. And let's just use 10,000 as the balance here. So I'm giving 20% every single month to the credit card. I'm paying them $200 a month because that's the minimum, or even maybe a little more. But yet I've got this money over here because, oh, God forbid, there's an emergency. If there's an emergency, I need this money. So this is very simple, but wouldn't it just make sense to take the money from your checking account, pay off the credit card, take the $200 a month that you were given to the credit card, move that money back over here? What happened there? What happened in doing that? Okay. Most people would take the money from their checking and pay the credit card off and skip the most important part. And this part is called recycle and recapture. A lot of people skip this because they think, oh, it's just my money. Why would I pay it back to myself? Why? Because you were given 20% to the credit card. So in doing this $200 back to your checking account, number one, you're regenerating your checking account. You're rebuilding that checking account. Number two, you literally just made a 20% positive return instead of giving away 20%. It's the same dollars. You were given 20% away with your $200 payment. Now you're keeping 20%. But now imagine if you did that with your privatized bank. Now you're making 4% plus dividend, and then you're just moving the money the same way. It's the same idea, okay? But now you pay the credit card off, and now you recapture the $200, and you put the $200 back in here. The difference is this one you made money, this one you didn't on the second part. You only made money one time with a checking account. Here you made money 2 times. Very simple, very easy, but we show you how to do all this stuff. And again, I just wanted to kind of go through that exercise because it's literally the simplest thing in the world. Just nobody's teaching this. Nobody's showing you how to take back the money that you're giving away to everybody else. That's why we can't seem to get ahead. We give 90 cents of every dollar we make away to somebody else. And that's, I don't know. I mean, if you guys think that's okay, then maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I need to get my head checked or go in for a psychological exam so somebody can tell me that I'm crazy, but I already know I'm crazy. I've been crazy for a long time. But crazy is exactly where I want to be because I think everybody else is crazy for thinking that it's okay to just give all your money away to everybody else. I truly think that that's crazy. So I don't know. Crazy is crazy does, or however they say that thing. What else, Stephen? We got any other questions here?
It says, what's the privatized bank that will make 4% plus the dividend?
Oh, okay, Matt. So that's kind of what I was saying earlier. You know, some of this is going to be over some people's heads. So you want to see the presentation. I know I would go over people's heads, but some people have seen it, some didn't. I'm trying to give a lot of value. The privatized bank is nothing more than a specially designed and engineered whole life designed for banking. But again, that's going to go over your head because you're going to be like, well, that sounds kind of crazy. Well, that's right, because you haven't seen the presentation. So come to the 3-day event. We've got Brent who will teach that, and I'll do privatized banking advanced strategies on that as well. Wow, I'm starting to lose my voice. This is crazy. I've been on podcasts and webinars and lives all day long, and it's been a long time since I've lost my voice. And I feel it, that raspy kind of little thing going on down here. And I do, yes, Jeff. So I have lots of videos. So let me just share my screen here. Let me just pull this up, and then we're going to basically kind of sum up the thing in the end, you know, and show you guys how you guys can sign up for this and what you're going to get, which we kind of already did that though. All right, so let's share my screen real quick.
Roxy, no, you're not going to get that with any life carrier. We use specific companies for a reason, and they're specially designed.
And I knew I'd go over some heads there, you know, with that thing. But if you guys go to the Chris Naugle and you click here and you just go to videos, there's tons and tons of videos about this. Be like Jamie. Here, this is a good one. So
meet Jess and Jamie. They have the same job and work the same hours, earn the same money, but they are not in the same financial position. Jess barely stays afloat. Car payments, credit card payments, house payments. There's too much month at the end of the money. Jamie, on the other hand, escaped the debt spiral. She is becoming her own banker without changing her spending habits. Instead of paying out that interest to the lenders, she recaptures it and puts that money to work for her. Instead of the banks getting rich off of her, Jamie is getting rich by being the banker for herself and others. Be like Jamie. First, stop putting your money in places you can't control it. Instead, put your hard-earned cash where Bank of America and Wells Fargo collectively stash $38 billion into accounts where it's safe with guaranteed growth, tax benefits, and immediate access to your money. This looks too good to be true, but it isn't. This is the legal secret of the ultra wealthy, and now it could be your secret too.
Yeah. So that's just one, but there's tons of videos on here that you can do. This is the main one. We just redid this. This is brand new. I just put it up 5 days ago. This teaches you all about how it works, but you can see there's tons of advanced strategies, lots of videos on this. This video shows how one of our clients, Devin Burr, used the infinite banking concept for his real estate and how he made money 5 times off one transaction. I mean, everything from cell phones to credit to everything. It's all here. Tons of videos. We put up new videos almost on a weekly basis. So folks, if you really, really want to dive in and kind of nerd out, that's a good place to do it, is right on the YouTube channel. But the best place is come to the 3-day, because there's nothing better than actually having somebody teaching you how this stuff works. Yes, you're right. 2020 certainly derailed a lot of people. All right, let's see. But I still have questions. Put it in the chat too. Can you use a HELOC at 4% to pay off credit card and then pay yourself back what you were paying the credit card, which would be higher than the 4%? I'm trying to figure this out so I can, yeah, absolutely, Lena. That's definitely what you would do. I mean, if you think about just common sense and logic and economics, I mean, if you've got one thing that's charging you a higher interest rate and you got another thing that charges you a lower interest rate, use the lower interest rate to pay off the higher interest rate, but then recapture dollar for dollar the same amount that you're giving to the higher interest rate card. And in doing that, you then you take back the difference of whatever it is. In your example, of your credit card's 20% and you're paying 4 on a HELOC, that's the difference, right? You made 16% on that. That's the spread, the arbitrage, if you will. So I'm trying to answer the question the best way I can. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. That one went right over my head. You were saying that you've watched the videos on YouTube. But anyway, so that's kind of where we're at. There's a lot of other stuff. And here's the deal. If you guys like this, guess what? We got a training tomorrow and it's another free one. Man, we just give everything away for free.
That was a good question. They said, real fast, if you don't mind me stopping you, because I know we've talked about this before, but do you think the 2020 COVID deaths, 400,000 people, have negatively affected the life insurance companies you use?
I don't think so, because they did a stress test on this. And if you really, if I really want to get into it, there's 400,000 people that died. But what they're doing is, like, if you really look at the numbers, if you look at the deaths in the United States compared to the deaths prior to COVID, the numbers haven't really changed. Sure, more people are dying from COVID, Okay. But if you look at the real numbers, they're not talking about people dying for many other things. Like, have you seen any deaths from flus? No.
It's not 400,000 extra people.
Right.
It's built into the total. And those
It
numbers
is.
are always about the same. Everything's coded COVID.
And I've lost a bunch of friends, and you know, I hate COVID. I think it's just awful. But you really, what you'd have to do to understand why it hasn't affected the insurance companies is the insurance companies don't just look at who died from COVID. They look at everybody that died and their actuarial tables. And is it in line? Yeah, actually, I don't know this for a fact, but I've kind of seen this around. So please, you know, you can fact check me on this, but I think more people died in 2019 as a total than they did in 2020. And it wasn't because, you know, COVID, it was just simply people weren't going out. They're not driving as much. They're not, you know, doing all the things that used to, you know, lead to casualties. So I think the numbers are probably about the same. And from an insurance standpoint, that doesn't hurt them at all. It doesn't change anything.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question, and I'm sure we get more into it. But you know, the last meeting we had with the AUL guys, at least, you know, they were saying their statistics were they're not affected whatsoever. I mean, you know, the majority of, you know, COVID deaths are older people anyways. It's all built into the factors and the charts of these companies. They're doing financially better than ever, actually. So that's the real answer to the question. The you know, the last thing I'll say, Chris, before you start to wrap up here, and we have some other questions. Let's not get too in the weeds with these policies. Just email me if you guys want to talk more specifics about your situations. But the last thing I wanted to say, Chris, before we start to wrap up, you know, we live in crazy times right now. I mean, I think that's normal. I've said the last 15 years of my life, I've always used, you know, CNN stands for constantly negative news, right? It's just, and that's been highlighted more so now with, you know, the past 4 years with Trump, and, you know, it's become real crazy out there. So, you know, turn the news off, watch, you know, that's what Money School community is all about, is surround yourself with the right people. Your net worth is always going to be equal to your network, the people you associate with. It happens over and over again. It's never going to change. That's just life, right? But where I was going with this is 20 years ago tomorrow, I was at George W. Bush's inauguration as an 18-year-old kid. And I remember, I remember looking and just seeing a sea of people, you know, listening to George W. Bush give his inauguration, you know, speech. And I was in the very back watching on a monitor because there was, I don't know how many people. It's just unbelievable. And Washington, D.C. then was just an unbelievable place. And I mean, I was running around on subways and having a good time. 20 years later, fast forward, there's nobody at this inauguration. It's not due to COVID. It's due to security issues. They have up 20-foot walls with barbed wire surrounding the entire Capitol building. There's 20-some thousand troops in DC to keep things calm and peaceful. And it doesn't matter what your viewpoints are on politics. The bottom line is the world changes. And and it comes at you quick, right? Life comes at you quick. 20 years ago, I would never, ever would have fathomed that this is what this inauguration will look like 20 years later. And I don't see it getting better anytime soon. So the bottom line is right now, you know, Janet Yellen is back in as Secretary Treasury. Our Fed chair right now is all about printing all the money that he can print. Yellen is just at Congress today yelling, I want the biggest stimulus ever. I want to make more money than ever before. I want to print it more than. That's why the stock market's going up right now, because all they see is money being printed and their values being held up that way. Well, guess what? As things get built up, guess what happens? They come crashing down. So whether that's this year, whether that's next year, whether that's 3 years from now, it doesn't matter. But be prepared now, because it is coming. It has to. There's no other way about it. So learn that now. Life comes at you quick. Make those changes now and be ready for it. And that's what Money School is going to teach you. And that's what we're here for. And Chris, I think that's what your mission is.
I think it is. And it's not, you know, like we never talk politics. Like that's probably the most politics we've ever talked, just because I hate politics. But the facts are the facts. And these are crazy times. And they're times that we all need to get ready and prepare. Because if you don't have your house in order, well, that's not going to be a good scenario for you. And, you know, house in order means get your money in order, get control of your money. The only way you're going to do that is if you start learning how this all works. And again, there's a lot to this. Which is why we constantly are doing free trainings. We have one tomorrow. There's the Wealth Webinar Series tomorrow. And then we got the Ask Me Anything after that. We're always doing trainings. Because why? Why do we do free trainings? Is it because we love that? Is it because I like losing my voice? No, it's because I'm on a mission to change people's financial futures and to end financial slavery. And if you don't think you're in financial slavery, man, that's the thing. I think so many people are in denial. Like literally, we're all in financial slavery. That's the world we live in. They want us to be in financial slavery. So if you want to break the chains of financial slavery, it's on you. Nobody else is going to do it for you. The cavalry isn't coming this time. You are the cavalry. So it's time for you to then figure this out and learn how to do it. And I'm here to hold your hand and walk you through it. Steven's here to hold your hand and walk you through it. Everybody on this team is down for the cause. That's our culture. That's our mission. And that's what we're going to do. And it starts right now. So folks, I hope to see you guys at the 3-day training. I hope to see some of you at tomorrow's wealth webinar training, which is again, another free one. And from there, it's time to rock, folks. I can't push you off the cliff. You know, I gotta bring you there and show you where you want to go. And then from there, you got to take that leap. And that leap is going to be wherever you want that leap to go. So I don't know. I'm losing my voice for sure. And also, folks, don't forget, anyone that signs up today and today only, you get a mystery gift. Unless you live in Costa Rica, then you're going to have to wait for a surf trip. So with that being said, folks, we're going to have this recording done and out by tomorrow. So you'll get this. And I think Shauna put together all the other ones. So we'll probably send it out in one package, and can't wait to see you guys this weekend. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you this weekend. Look forward to it. And before you turn the recording off, Chris, let's I'll finish out with this video. Let's play it. You want me to?
Oh, awesome. Yeah, please.
I haven't seen it yet, so I want to check it out. So I'll include sound on here so it sounds good. Share sound, optimize for video.
I think I know which one this is.
Just the speaker video.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I just want to see all the highlights.
There we go.
Learn the secret to how a 200-year-old method has been used by the world's wealthiest people to grow, generate, and control their wealth. We invite you to a 3-day virtual event with the top minds of the financial world live on January 22nd and 24th. Meet Jack Bosch. He's an experienced entrepreneur, real estate investor, a respected industry leader, speaker, educator, husband, and father. Jack is the co-creator of the Land Profit Generator Method, the leading land flipping business incubator in the world. Jack and his wife Michelle are undisputed authorities in the land investing space, helping land investors scale with their unparalleled Land Profit Generator Method. Stephen Naugle left his career as a personal financial advisor to pursue his dream of being an entrepreneur and real estate investor. 14 years later, he has never looked back. Stephen has spoken on hundreds of stages across the entire United States and worked with thousands of students over that time. As a full-time luxury real estate agent in South Florida, along with managing a real estate investment business, Stephen lives and breathes in real estate. Meet Chris Rood, full-time real estate investor, coach, mentor, sales professional, and entrepreneur. He specializes in wholesaling real estate to real estate investors and mobile home parks. Chris also coaches everyday individuals to help them get started in real estate and get a wholesaling business off the ground quickly, and show them how to take their business to the next level. Chris Rood also manages a portfolio of $22.5 million in real estate. Meet Bo Winder, an executive and senior funding advisor with Seed Capital. For the past decade, Bo has traveled the country helping thousands of entrepreneurs and investors start new businesses, buy franchises, fund real estate deals, and obtain the smartest resources of business capital. During this time, he has consulted with over 15,000 investors and entrepreneurs who have received over $1 billion in funding. Meet Eric Winkler, who's always had a zest for building businesses and partnerships with entrepreneurs. With over 16 years of experience providing business owners knowledge and confidence regarding entity selection, asset protection, and business funding, Eric's extensive partnerships with each business owner bring great success. Successes like Rockstar Energy Drink, a company Eric aided in business formation, who in 2015 boasted $820 million in worldwide annual sales. Meet Brent Kessler, whose main goal is to simply help more people understand how to manage and grow their wealth. For the last 8+ years, he has been lecturing to thousands of people around the country on the dynamics of the money multiplier method and helping individuals to break the bonds of financial slavery, showing them how to take control of their own financial life. Brent has had a passionate belief that whether you make $10 an hour or $10,000 an hour, you should know and have this powerful information to keep control of your own money. Take advantage of the offer to sign up for the 3-day virtual event to learn from real estate experts and financial experts from around the country to take back control of your money.
Love it, man. Real estate, moneyschooltraining.com/registration, $197. I mean, how are you going to beat that?
Can't.
It's a beautiful thing.
We'll see everybody there. Put your money where your mouth is. We'll do the rest. See you guys tomorrow, or we'll see you at the 3-day. Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you.